conference in San Miguel. So Coach Joseph Chico is going with his carryovers. At ang Alaska naman, yung bagong player nila, si Nick Velasco, is in the starting lineup. In fact, he's doing the jump against Dorian Peña. Maganda to. Pansinin natin mga kaibigan kung sino po ang itatao ni Nick Velasco. Mukhang center slot na, no? It's going to be Nick Velasco versus si Danny Ildefonso. Let's see how we will do it playing with Don Aliado. It could be Don Aliado playing center and Velasco playing either number 4 or number 3.
As that is how the positions were announced. Boy, a bad pass by Don Tavares, but again it gets it back. Binigay Olsen Rosella for the open shot. And a set shot is a TM3. Galing po kay Olsen Rosella. Ito dyan sa inyo na bagong TM. Power to the people. Narito po ngayon si Mike Cortez. Binigay kay Nick Velasco and he scores his first 3 points against his former team. Power to the people.
At palitan ng tres to, no? Now, if you make the comparison kung sino mga tumira ng tres for both teams, you have the point guard, si Olsen Rosella. You know that he's known for that outside shot, but Nick Velasco taking the 3-point shot. You know that he also has a good range from that distance, but he's a player who plays 4 or 3. He gives you that outside shooting range. That's why he's such a key factor in how things go in the offense ng Alaska.
Samantala, Mike Cortez, binabati ni Don Tiveros. Lumalabas si Don Aliado against Dorian Peña. There's the pass, deflected by Dorian Peña, but picked up by Aliado. Open shot once again for Nick Velasco, not that time, and Dorian Peña grabs the rebound para sa San Miguel Beer.
Now, you see what happened there. If Nick Velasco takes the shot from the outside, in terms of offensive rebounding, they lose someone who can go crash the boards because Velasco is taking shots from the outside. Aliado needs some help underneath.
Tony De La Cruz goes baseline, gets it back. Second servings by Tony De La Cruz gives them the 2-point lead at 5-3 Alaska.
Notice that medyo binilisan ng Alaska yung tempo ng laro that time when Tony De La Cruz going straight to the hole. Now, San Miguel is not known to be a fast-breaking club. In fact, it was the league's last team in terms of fast-break points in the last conference.
Samantala narito si Nick Velasco, sinasalubong ni Danny Ildefonso. Here's Carriazo. Picked up by Dorian Peña. The pass back to Tony De La Cruz. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Nick Velasco from the corner. 5 points now for the ex-San Miguel Beermen. Nick Velasco now donning the Alaska Aces uniform.
And all the shots of Velasco coming from the outside.
Oh. Daniel Ildefonso may tanga na bola binigay kay Don Tiveros against Jeffrey Carriazo. Don Tiveros bottled up. Narito si Olsen Rosella, not patid ni Mike Cortez, who will be called for the foul.
Doon natin nakikita yung bilis ng San Miguel. Although this is the league's last place team in terms of fast break points, it doesn't mean that San Miguel is a slow team. They like to work the half-court set, and they like to use motion in trying to get open shots. That time, no motion needed. Ildefonso taking the shot from the outside against his former teammate, Nick Velasco.
Well, you know that Danny Ildefonso can deliver the goods from within and without para sa San Miguel Beer. That's why he's so dangerous. By the way, he just got acknowledged for his 5,000th point. He happens to be the 53rd PBA player to score 5,000 points in a game last December. Don Tiveros in the meantime punches the hoop. At tabla na naman tayo at 7-all.
All the points of San Miguel coming from the outside. And for Alaska, actually just one field goal coming from the inside. That was courtesy of Tony De La Cruz. And now with the offensive rebound coming from, and the putback coming from Don Aliado.
Yes, tip in by Don Aliado gives them the 2-point lead once again at 9-7. Narito ngayon si Danny Siegel looking around. Binigay kay Danny Ildefonso. Olsen Rosella. Gusto maibigay kay Danny Siegel pero hindi nakapasa. Ildefonso with a soft shot. Rebound, De La Cruz, binigay kay Mike Cortez.
Well, De La Cruz doing a very good job of denying possession for Danny Siegel. 3 players so far have scored for San Miguel. Not one of them, Danny Siegel.
Aliado having some problems underneath dahil nakapayong sa kanya si Danny Siegel at si Dorian Peña. Hindi siya makakita ng liwanag sa ilalim at natawagan po ng traveling violation si Don Aliado.
Ayun
Ganda
ang
sana nung pasa eh.
Oo, at saka matindi naman ang depensa ng San Miguel. One of the toughest defensive teams is San Miguel, particularly in the interior. But Alaska was ranked number 2 in defense in the last conference. At partner itong San Miguel, number 3. So these two teams are known for their defense.
Bounce pass by Olsen Racela. He loses it to the baseline.
Turnover number 1 for San Miguel.
7 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Jeffrey Carriazo. Mike Cortez. Binibigyan ng pick ni Tony De La Cruz. Cortez binigyan kay De La Cruz. Off to Carriazo for the open shot. Wala. Offensive rebound, Nick Velasco. And he scores again. 7 points now para kay Nick Velasco. Bagong lipat lang. Baka nalilito kayo. Sasabihin niyo, ba't tumira sa kalaban si Nick Velasco? Hindi ho. Nasa Alaska na po yan.
And Alaska has already scored 3 field goals on second chance opportunities. So they're lording it over the offensive boards. They're getting second chance points. And it's something that Coach Joseph Ichico must be concerned about.
Malapit ngayon si Danny Siegel. Babantay sa kanya si Tony De La Cruz. Dorian Peña versus Aliado. Peña. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Off the glass. Medyo mahina. And the loose ball picked up by Nick Velasco. Out now to Mike Cortez. There's the bounce pass intended for Don Aliado, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, it was a kick ball. Ginamit ni Carriazo yung kanyang paa to stop that ball from going out of bounds. Kitang-kita yun ng referee. That's why you call the turnover.
Ating referees Brano, referees Cruz, Kalungkagin, and Villanueva.
That time, again, yung set play ng San Miguel, spread the floor and then get Dorian Peña to create space for himself under or inside the lane. And nagkaroon ng foul to stop the play.
6 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the first period. Olsen Racela in and out. And that ball knocked off the hands of Mike Cortez.
So far, not a single offensive rebound for San Miguel sa game na to. Alaska already with 3 offensive rebounds. All of those offensive rebounds resulting in second chance points.
Cortez sees an opening. Oy, lumabas din. Aliado with the offensive board. Inabot kay Jeffrey Carriazo. Nick Velasco lamang kay Daniel Defonso. Here's Mike Cortez. Binigay kay Tony De La Cruz in the corner. Nothing there. Also, Racela napulot ang bola. Racela to the front court. Sinalubog ni Mike Cortez. At the Dorian Peña. Peña looking around. Finds Danny Siegel.
First time, halos nakahawak ng bola si Danny.
Oo nga.
But had to pass it out.
Eh, binalik sa kanya ni Daniel Defonso. He scores. Danny Siegel.
And that's the way they should work the ball to Danny Siegel. If he doesn't have the opportunity to score in his first possession, give it up and the ball will go back to him when he is in better position to score.
2-point lead Alaska na sa kanilang bola. Nick Velasco takes it inside, runs into Dorian Peña. And an offensive foul is going to be called on Nick Velasco.
Again, yung interior defense in San Miguel, standing tough, forcing that out.
Sapagkat during the break, marami nagpalitan ng players. At dalawa na yan, itong dalawang kupunan, ang San Miguel at ang Alaska. Peter Martin, ano nabalitaan mo tungkol sa mga trade na ito?
Thank you. At sabi ko lang sa sarili ko, baka it would be interesting to find out from a player's point of view regarding the trade between Velasco and Cablay. Well, I went to the captain ball of the San Miguel Beermen at saka kapwesto ni Cablay, etong si Olsen Racela. Tinanong ko, kamusta naman yung trade? You think they did a good job? Sabi niya, he's not getting any younger. He's not a spring chicken anymore. Kaya ina-address ng problema ng San Miguel franchise. Sabi niya nga na they will miss the services of itong si Nick Velasco right now. As you see, Nick Velasco is playing really very well for the Alaska franchise. Pero sabi niya in the future, they felt that it would be easier to get a player like Nick Velasco rather than a player like Cablay or like Olsen Racela. At he added out, nung Friday, meron tayong primer dito sa ABC, yung PBA primer natin. Sabi daw ni Coach Tim Cone, 37 years old na daw siya. Eh sabi ni Olsen Racela, hindi daw siya 37. 35 daw siya, but he plays like a 25-year-old. Back to you guys.
Yan ang mga attitude, di ba?
Oo, talaga.
35 pala si Olsen, ha? Pero, yeah.
Playing like 25.
Oh, I can believe that.
Ayun,
Danny
si
Siegel inside. Si Brandon Cablay nasa loob na.
Oo.
Pinalitan si Olsen Rosella.
Well, yan ang sagot sa ating katanungan kanina. And take a look at the offensive rebounds and the second chance points so far at San Miguel. 0-0 on both counts. So Alaska loading it over in both departments, although Alaska's lead is only 2 points. And that's because mas maraming turnover ang Alaska sa San Miguel. That defense of San Miguel already forcing Alaska into 4 turnovers. Okay, ito na.
Si Migs Noble, narito na rin pala sa San Miguel.
Oo. Well, ito na ang sagot sa ating katanungan kanina. No? Kung anong posisyon ang ilalaro ni Brandon Cablay. It looks like he is playing the number 1 position in place of Olsen Rosella. At least at this stage. Although, ako, sa tingin ko, no, pwede din mag-number 2 yan in the course of the game.
Alam naman natin, si Brandon Cablay can play either off guard or point guard. Samantala, narito ngayon si Don Tiveros. Bigla tumira ng 3. Yes! Don Tiveros with the TM 3 sa tinsayin na bagong TM Power to the People. Pumasok na rin pala ito si Wilson para sa Alaska. Isa pinalitan si Mike Cortez. Jeffrey Carriazo trying to get inside. Natapik ni Danny Siegel and it bounces off Jeffrey Carriazo. So the ball goes to San Miguel Beer. Still, we now have San Miguel in the lead by 1 at 14-13.
Turnover number 5 now for Alaska. Interesting itong gamit ng player ni Coach Tim Ko, no? Si Willie Wilson. As he mentioned, he's now playing in the game and he is up against Brandon Cablay in that matchup sa point guard.
And the ball goes to San Miguel. Napatalon si Coach Tim Cone. Pero mukhang natapik nga ng isang taga-Alaska yung bola galing sa likod. Migs Noble to Brandon Cablay. Cablay versus Wilson. Dorian Peña up against Aliado. Umaatras si Dorian Peña. Kick out to Brandon Cablay. Couple of fakes. Binigay kay Migs Noble inside. Oh, smothered. He gets it back. Don Tiveros with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Tiveros gets its own miss. His pass, however, picked off by Reynel Hugnatan. Hugnatan to Willie Wilson. The bounce pass to Carriazo. Oh, pass!
Oh, beautiful pass, but sorry miss.
Looked like a perfect pass. And Nick Velasco nakipagsabong kay Danny Siegel sa ere.
And you see the reaction from the crowd.
Yeah.
Now the action is fast and furious. Nasa first quarter lang tayo rito.
Iba't ibang sulok ng ating bansa at gayon din sa mga kaibigan natin sa ibayong dagat. Napapanood po tayo sa iba't ibang sulok ng daigdig. Mabuhay po sa ating mga kababayan nandiyan dyan sa mga iba't ibang lugar sa buong mundo. Oy, salamat nga pala sa mga kaibigan natin sa Red Bull. Pinakain tayo kagabi. Pinito.
Oo, tsaka very, very hospitable.
Yeah.
Si Sir George Chua, the owner of the Red Bull franchise sa PBA.
Sila magkakapatid, no? Si Mr. Jaime, Ray.
Si Mr. Ray, the entire Red Bull organization was there.
Parang Andy Howe.
Thanksgiving dinner.
Ni Chua, si Rowena Sanchez.
Lahat sila. Si Mr. Arben Santos was also there.
Yes.
And of course, all the players, including Rich Alvarez, yung bagong acquisition nila.
That's right. Ito, ano ba ito? Nagtapping ka lang ng bola. Jeffrey Carriazo hands it over to Don Aliado to score.
Aliado already with 6 points. You know, interesting that si Aliado hindi pa napapalitan dito. He is their rock, the anchor of Alaska now in the middle. He's playing center. At ang pinapalit-palitan dito ni Coach Tim Cone in terms of the power forward position is Nick Velasco at saka si Sonny Toss. Ngayon si Sonny Toss is in the ball game.
Brandon Cablay. Binigay kay Migs Noble. Biglang tumira si Noble. Medyo alanganin na tira. And Hugnatan is banged by Migs Noble.
Malaki itong front line na ginagamit ni Coach Tim Cone. With Reynel Hugnatan, he's also playing for Alaska. And Hugnatan is a player who can also play 4, can play also 3. Kanya, ang daming player ngayon, no? Frontliners from the bench of Alaska who can play multiple positions. And you know, when you're playing the triangle, I think that's important when you have players who can play different positions.
Saka kailangan, aral sila dyan sa triangle, ano?
Oo. Okay, kita natin, no? Aral na aral. And
Sunny
an
Cross.
offensive rebound.
Carriazo.
Oh,
yeah!
yes. In the nick of time, Carriazo with his first 2 points.
At lumang na naman ang Alaska ng dalawa at 17-15. Brandon Cablay takes it inside. Dalabas ka Don Taveras for the 3-point shot. Almost, not quite. Mix around the Danny Siegel. Inusundan ni Reynal Hugnatan and a foul is called. And traveling. Yeah.
Siegel also has been replaced in this game, just like si Don Aliado for Alaska. Incidentally, medyo tinubukan yata ng buhok si Danny Siegel ngayon. Ano?
Oo nga pala,
Pinati ko nga si Danny Siegel. Sabi ko, nice hairdo.
Oo nga, hindi ko napansin
Pubogi. Ang kaibigan natin ni si Danny S.
Jeffrey Carriazo from the outside, missed the three-pointer. Brandon Cablay for the rebound. Brings it up para sa San Miguel. Binigay kay Danny Siegel. Humingi si Don Taveras. Instead it goes to Danny Alfonso. At merong sumabit. Parang si Willie Wilson na tinangkang agawin yung bola. Willie Wilson with his first personal foul. 14th foul on Alaska with 43 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Kung di po ninyo inabot yung ating first game, nagwagi po ang Coca-Cola Tigers over Air 21. The score 104-83.
And that was a come from behind victory.
Yeah.
Air 21 was ahead at the half. Ang puputok nila si John Arrigo yata at saka si Ali Pic.
Oo, yung dalawang matibay na haligi ng Coca-Cola Tigers. Steal by Danny Siegel. Ang gandang agaw naman nun. Talagang tinaga-tsaga ni Danny Siegel ito. Willie Wilson will be called for another foul. His second personal. At nasa penalty na yata itong Alaska.
A closely contested game. And neither team breaking the 20-point barrier so far. So low scoring ito, no? Sabi nga natin, both teams are well known for their defense. More players checking in. Alam mo maganda dito sa Philippine Cup is you will see the best local players emerging.
Yeah.
No longer will any team rely on their imports. At dito makikita natin yung talagang pasiklaban, yung pagalingan. Laban kung laban. Yung mga local natin.
Sabi nga ni Benji Santiago, Pinoy laban sa Pinoy. Pinoy sa Pinoy ito. Kaya makikita nga po natin talaga yung kilatis nitong ating mga local. Aliado, bumihit, and Migs Noble holds him down. With 4 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Wala pa naman sa penalty itong San Miguel, kaya wala namang free throws yan. Wesley Gonzalez in his new uniform is sent in. Coach John Wichico.
Halos lahat yata ng mga bagong player nakalaro, no? Including si Renzi Bahar, who is now on the floor. Si Mark Kong na lang ang wala.
Mark Kong.
At saka si Eddie Laure of Alaska, hindi pa nakakalaro.
Saturday, the second quarter, nagkaroon ng rebound scramble dun sa panig ng San Miguel at natawagan ng loose ball fouls Dorian Peña. Narito ngayon ang bola sa Alaska Aces. Renzi Bahar ang nagkakit ng bola. Will Wilson binigay kay Don Aliado against Migs Noble. Rivals the pass to Sonny Toss.
Oh, yes. And a great pass coming from Don Aliado. Again, running the triangle system very efficiently.
At sa kasalukuyan, Alaska na naman ang nasa nakalalamang at 19-18.
Alaska looking to dictate the tempo here with his full court press. At meron silang switching defense in the backcourt.
Alalahanin po natin ang dalawang kapunang ito sa pag-uumpisa ng ating Fiesta Conference, yung nakaraan. Yan ang dalawa sa mga linamado, kumbaga, ay mga favored teams at the start of the Fiesta Conference. But, well, they fell short in that particular conference. Of course, that was won by Red Bull. At ang nagtunggali po doon sa finals, Red Bull and Pure Foods. Dalawang kinukonsidero, inaakalang mga dark horses in the Fiesta Conference. Kaya kinailangan na itong San Miguel at ang Alaska magkaroon ng rethinking of their lineup. At ginawa na po nila ng karampatang lunas sa kanilang inaakala.
Well, sabi nga natin kanina sa ating pre-game intro, both these teams rich in championship tradition. In the 80s, it was San Miguel that lorded it over, Grand Slam team yan. And in the 90s, yung Alaska naman, also a Grand Slam team. But falling into hard times, especially in the last conference, no, when neither team made it to the semifinals. Kaya sabi mo nga, no, that's the reason why these trades are made.
That's right.
To try to inject fresh blood, a new spirit behind these two teams and teams involved in negotiating trades.
Samantala, Christian Kalanga misses from the outside on a three-point try. And on the rebound play, another loose ball foul, it seems. On Miguel Noble, that's number 4 on Miguel Noble. Dami na kaagad, 4.
Already 4
Ngiti na lang si Miguel Noble. Maaga.
Well, si Noble kasi is playing center, no? And I think he's playing a little bit out of position, but he's there for defensive purposes more than anything else. And that's the reason why he's giving up so many fouls.
And
Nakalaban
nako, ayun pa isa.
Panlipa na yan.
Got him on the arm.
Oo.
Inabot po niya yung braso ni Don Aliado. Not a very easy job.
Oh yes, and feeling kasi ni Don Aliado that he's got Miguel Noble's number. Now, Noble came from Alaska, so medyo nagkakaintindihan yung dalawa. And Alaska, realizing kung anong deficiency ni Miguel Noble, he's really attacking his defense. Si Aliado already with 8 points has not been replaced in this game from the start.
That's right. Oo. Siya na lang ang original dyan, ano, at starting unit ng Alaska in this game. And as expected, Miguel Noble is recalled to the bench after he picked up his 5th personal foul in that last play, then sent Aliado to the line. At bumalik na po si Danny Ildefonso sa panig ng San Miguel. This is the second minute of the second quarter. At ito po ang ating unang araw, first day of the All-Filipino Conference, or the Philippine Cup as it is called. Triple team on Danny Ildefonso. Naagaw ni Willie Wilson. Bahar back to Wilson who scores underneath.
Ito yung sinasabi ko, yung full court press at saka yung switching defense ng Alaska, and he's giving San Miguel some problems here in bringing up the ball.
Samantala, Wesley Gonzalez underneath with a reverse layup.
Specialty of the house yan. Wesley, the Wild Wild West Gonzalez. First 2 points as a San Miguel player.
Played ang hugnatan to Willie Wilson.
Alam mo, ito si Wesley is a very exciting player. I think he'll do very well in the San Miguel Beer uniform.
Oh yeah. Willie Wilson. What hustle Wilson is showing tonight. Nice pass to Sonny Toz. Pero merong sumabit kay Sonny. At tinatawagan na foul. Referee Villanueva calls it on Daniel Ildefonso. First personal on Danny I. At ang Alaska po, nakalalabang na ngayon ng 5 at 25-20.
And Don Aliado is being recalled to the bench for the first time. Well, as soon as the sub is allowed by the table officials, looks like Eddie Laura is checking in.
Eddie Laura.
Because now he slides over to the number 5 position with Don Aliado sitting on the bench. Yan ang interchangeability ng mga players, the versatility of the players. That's something very, very important, especially in the pro games. It's a game of adjustments, and you're seeing a lot of adjustments on the floor here in terms of players moving from one position to the other, trying to draw the mismatch.
At saka siguro, ganito, medyo in-experimentohan din at sinusubukan ng mga coaches yung kanilang iba't ibang mga formula, kombinasyon, diba? Dahil may mga bago silang players. Kaya maaasahan natin mga kaibigan na magkakaroon ng kakaibang mga galaw o paggalaw sa loob ng hardcourt sa mga kupunan dito sa PBA ngayon. Still a 6-point lead for Alaska, 26-20. Willie Wilson, binigay kay Sonny Toz, libre. Pero malakas ang tira. Dalawa, si Dorian Peña at si Daniel Ildefonso. Sinasabi natin hindi nagkaamo yan. Ito si Eddie Laure. Oh, nice pass inside. Yes. Sonny Toz on a one-hander.
Oh, pasok yun. And he's got a free throw coming up. 2006 and 2007. Parehong first round draft choices yun.
Bigat, ano? Bigat na.
Alam mo, nakausap ko si Coach Yengial. Doon nga sa Thanksgiving party ng Red Bull.
Kagabi.
Yes, oo. At sabi nga niya that it was something that he just couldn't pass up. They're a young team. Sabi nila, you usually go to the draft to get young players, but they have a lot of young players. And passing up the opportunity of putting together the core of the Blue Eagles championship team. Ano? And of course, a player of Alvarez's caliber. Sabi nga, it was just too good to pass
Pass
up.
up, oo.
Kanya,
Ay, kwento rin sa atin yan ni Mr. Arben Santos na siyang nangangalaga dito sa mga player na
ng
Atenista.
Ateneo. Of course, si team manager Tony Chua also very instrumental in getting putting those things together. Tapos napapag-usapan din namin yung pagkuha ni James Penny. Of course, credit goes to the Red Bull consultant si Andy Howe. He's got a keen eye in looking for these players, these imports who fit into the system.
Matagal na yan.
Yan.
Pero bata pa.
Dr. J, hanga tayo kay Andy Howe. Kaibigan natin yan.
Chris Caragia tonight, inalagaan tayo mabuti kagabi.
Oo.
Bagay lahat naman mga taga-Red Bull. Maraming salamat po at congratulations muna. You know kagabi, inimbita po mga media at mga kaibigan ng Red Bull for a Thanksgiving dinner party ng Red Bull.
Okay, at ito namang San Miguel versus Alaska ba? There is a history between these two teams. Kung titingnan natin record books ng last Philippine Cup last season, itong San Miguel eliminated Alaska in the quarterfinals. 2 straight in a best-of-3 series. Kanya may axe to grind tong Alaska sa San Miguel.
Siyempre.
There is a reason why Alaska is playing with grim determination against San Miguel. Not only because they have not made it to the semifinals of the last 6 conferences, but because it is against San Miguel that they're up against.
That was Reynal Hugnatan. Nagulat tayo doon. He doesn't normally take that kind of a shot, pero pumasok. At umabante na naman ang Alaska ng siyam at 31-22. Danny Siegel lamang kay Reynal Hugnatan. Siegel ngayon, biglang tumira. Wala. Loose ball, napunta ulit kay Siegel. Siegel against Hugnatan. Well covered by Hugnatan. Ang ganda ng depensa ni Reynal doon. Ito ngayon si Renzi Bahar. Sumasagit siya dito sa front court. And a look-away pass. Like we always say, he should have looked. Ito ngayon si Olsen Racela. And he kicks it back to Dondon Ontiveros. Defensive board, Danny Siegel. And they give it to Olsen Racela. Down low to Danny Ildefonso. Banggaan sa loob. Si Willie Wilson. Ande si Eddie Laure. At yung bumagsak si Dondon Ontiveros. Ano nangyari dito kay Eddie Laure? You know, looked like a promising player just a few years back. Nagkaroon yata ng injury doon naman sa Pure Foods.
Exactly, yes. But he was once an MVP, kung di tayo nagkakamali, sa finals ng Metropolitan Basketball Association.
Naging national player yan. Napanood ko sa Kuala Lumpur in the 2001 SEA Games.
But he's had a string of injuries. Tapos, he's never really been able to recover given the playing time. But now it looks like for Alaska, mabibigyan ng pagkakataon dito. He's a left-handed player. And he certainly can score and shoot the ball.
Just like Chris Calagio. He got a couple of aces up in the air. Eddie Laure will be called for his 3rd personal foul.
Now with Alaska sprinting to a 9-point lead, big difference here is that nung first half, pumapasok yung mga tira sa labas ng San Miguel. Now in the second quarter rather, hindi na masyadong consistent yung kanilang accuracy from the outside. And I think they need to make a little adjustment, no? They can't go for those outside shots, which are low percentage shots, all the time. They need to be able to work the ball to the post. Problema, yung mga malalaki ng Alaska, nando dun eh. They've got a very big front line with Sanitos at saka si Reynel Hugnatan. And, but it's a matter of working the ball to the post, going to players like Dorian Peña, who's not on the floor right now, and Daniel Defonso, and then working the ball patiently to go for either the kick out or drawing the double team.
Samantala, pumasok mo mga free throws and the lead is down to 8 at 31-23. Reynal Hugnatan out to Mike Cortez.
Looks like a zone defense being played here by San Miguel.
Eddie Laure deflected to Sanitas. Takes care of it from underneath the basket.
That's another offensive rebound and a putback once more.
Dondon Ontiveros.
Turnover.
Ang bilis ng dating niya pero nabitawan ang bola. Natapik sa kanya. Reynal Hugnatan looking inside. Nobody there. Narabas kay Eddie Laure. Laure off to Mike Cortez. 6 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Wilson out to Cortez. Cortez zigzagging up to Eddie Laure at the baseline. Narabas ulit kay Cortez. Inabot na. Now 24 seconds shot clock.
Alam mo, maganda yung adjustment ni Coach Joseph Chico and using that zone defense. It took away the inside play ng Alaska. No? They couldn't get the ball in the hands of Sonny Toss to even start the triangle. And as a result, medyo nagkaroon ng breakdown in the offense. They didn't know who was going to take the shot because in defense ng San Miguel made Alaska have second thoughts on how to run the offense. Maganda yung adjustment ni Coach Wichico.
And Eddie Laure following the footsteps of Mix Noble.
Pang-apat na rin
Sandali lang dito sa loob ng hardcourt. Nakaipon na kaagad ng 4 na foul.
Alam mo kaminsan, if you haven't played in a long time and you're given an opportunity to play, parang in your over-eagerness, napapafoul ka ng alanganin eh. And I think that's what happened with Eddie Laure. He only took 1 shot and he was blocked.
Yeah, Sonny Toss and Eddie Laure go back to the bench in favor of Nick Velasco. And as Daniel Defonso scores, Tony De La Cruz. Yung
Yes.
pumasok ulit si Tony De La Cruz.
Yung outside shot ni Daniel Defonso, pumasok yun. And again, that has been the bread and butter of San Miguel. Yung kanilang outside shooting. Oh!
Willie Wilson having some problems. Nick Velasco to the rescue. Out to Mike Cortez. Cortez looking at the basket. Cross-court pass to Tony De La Cruz for the open shot. That's a three-pointer. Wala. And high up for the rebound, Chris Calagio. Binigay kay Austin Racera. Racera to the front court. Sinilove to Mike Cortez. Back to Chris Calagio. Calagio inside the paint. Nakandarapan. Wala na bullet to Danny Siegel. Siegel up in there. At may foul na tatawagin. Coach Tim Cole, medyo naglalagot to the sidelines. Calling out to his players.
Well, San Miguel's playing more aggressively now in trying to get inside the paint and closer to the hole rather than just taking the shots from the outside. That's also the reason kung bakit they're going to the foul line. They've become more aggressive and they're drawing the contact from Alaska, which is really, really key. In getting your offense going, you also want to go to the line.
Samantala, maaga pumasok sa penalty yung San Miguel Beer. Pero ngayon, itong Alaska nasa penalty na rin. Danny Siegel, however, uncharacteristically misses on the first free throw. And we have Jeffrey Carriazo coming back in para kay Willie Wilson, who did well on the hardcore without a good hustle there. Para kay Willie Wilson. Siegel.
Yes.
Yun, pumasok. Got a good bounce there.
Oo, akala ko, dalawang sunod na mentes. For Danny Siegel, he just went 1 out of 2. He hit 72.4% from the foul line in the last conference.
Pretty decent. Carriazo. Hook Nathan. Nakikirat to Cortez. Back to Carriazo. Drop pass to Reynald Hugnatan. Oh! Kaliwete yan eh. Kala na ginamit niya eh. Kasi alanganin yung pwesto na hindi niya. Akala niya titira na. Nakuha niya yung pass. He had to use his right hand. Kaliwete yan eh. Kaya medyo alanganin yung tira.
Okay, nasa penalty situation ng Alaska. Gawa ng sunod-sunod na foul galing kay Eddie Laure. And,
4 na sunod-sunod yun.
Beneficiary now is Chris Calagio, who will go to the line. Si Calagio, yes, he has 3 points in this game so far with 3 rebounds. Player coming off the bench for Coach Joseph Chico. Only player who switched teams na hindi pa naglalaro dito is Mark Kong.
That's right. Hindi pa natin nakikita.
All eyes are on Mark Kong. Let's see whether he's the real deal or not. No, he's 6'5", 225 pounds. He was a draft choice ng Alaska in the last draft. Pero hindi siya naglaro, no? Last conference. So, fans are wondering whether he can contribute solid numbers to San Miguel.
Samantala, swarming defense here by San Miguel. At the press break here by Alaska. Nick Velasco. Blocked by Danny Siegel. Pero merong foul. Tumama yata sa Siegel. Nick Velasco. And Velasco, he started for Alaska in this game. And as Kinito Hanson said, pitong sunod-sunod na puntos halos ang ginawa nito si Nick Velasco. And he misses on that free throw. Ito po yung isa sa mga featured natin kanina sa pag-umpisa nating laro doon sa palitan anang Alaska at ng San Miguel. Si Brandon Cablay naman ang napunta sa San Miguel Beer. Daniel Defonso at midcourt up against Don Aliado, Chris Calagio, Tony De La Cruz. Olsen Racera Binigay kay Danny Siegel. Siegel against Velasco. Inside to Daniel Defonso. Quick turn. At merong loose ball foul.
Now both teams in the penalty,
Oo nga.
so that means free throws coming up.
Kung sino man ang tatawagan ng foul, sigurado merong free throws. Natulak si Don Tiveros doon. And Nick Velasco just picked up his third personal foul. Mayang gabi sa atong mga higala, labi na diha sa Sugbo. Taga diha manggod ni si Don Ontiveros. Kumusta kamuntaran? Diha sa kabisayan ng Mindanao, ang inyong alagad. Ed Bigson, nakauban natin si Kinito Henson at si Peter Martin. Narito po tayo ngayon sa Araneta Coliseum in Cubao, Quezon City, witnessing the game between Alaska and San Miguel in the first day, opening day ng ating Philippine Cup All-Filipino Conference ng inyong laban kung laban, PBA.
Velasco recalled to the bench. Meron na siyang 3 personal fouls. Sonny Toss checking back in.
Jeffrey Carriazo. Off now to Mike Cortez. Back to Carriazo. Top of the key. 3-point shot is no good. Cortez for the rebound. Another offensive board here by Alaska. Carriazo. Binigay kay Tony De La Cruz. De La Cruz looking around. Finds Don Aliado. Ano to si Carriazo the bounce pass. Mike Cortez looking around. Oops. Cortez running into Don Ontiveros, and a blocking foul is going to be called on Ontiveros.
Lucky break there for Alaska because that offense is going nowhere.
Yeah.
They were far away from the basket and they were just passing the ball back and forth without anyone getting a clear look because nandun yung depensa. So lucky break for Alaska na naka-pick up sila ng foul galing sa San Miguel. Here's Mike Cortez. Si Cortez hindi pa nakaka-score sa game na to.
Got his first point right there. At inangat na naman niya ang kalamangan ng Alaska up to 6 points at 34-28. Pero pang isa para kay Mike Cortez. Medyo mahina. And De La Cruz has the rebound para sa that was Danny Siegel who got the rebound para sa San Miguel. Olsen Rosella. Lumalabas si Brandon Cablay pero hindi maibigay ni Rosella.
Ito yung sinabi natin kanina, no?
Pwedeng uno, pwedeng dos.
That we can expect Rosella and Brandon Cablay to play together to form a very tough combination in the backcourt, especially when they start going for the trap in the backcourt.
Ito si Mike Cortez, bigay kay Aliado. Out to Carriazo.
Oh yes, deadly from the outside as always.
Tumapak lang sa linya. 37-30, 7-point lead Alaska. 2 minutes and 53 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Inabot kay Brandon Cablay against Jeffrey Carriazo. Cablay. Daniel Defonso from the outside, almost.
Now you notice na nawala dito sa San Miguel yung kanilang post play, no? There's no one posting up. You see Daniel Defonso taking a shot from the outside instead of posting up. Let's see what San Miguel does in this offensive.
Yung si Torian Peña kung nandyan, may post up.
Yes, oo. Kailangan nila someone to be able to draw that defense inside. Oh, what a nice change of direction.
Ganda naman ang saksak na yun ni Olsen Rosella using his left hand on the shot. And carrying the lead of Alaska down to Carriazo. Out to Cortez. Ito ngayon, lumalabas si Tony De La Cruz sa baseline. And the kick out to Mike Cortez with the open shot.
Oh, nothing but net that time for Mike Cortez. Nice movement around the perimeter for Alaska.
Here's Cablay. And nilabas kay Tony De La Cruz, kay Danny Siegel. Kung na magkakamalang Tony De La Cruz si Danny Siegel. Dahil sa buhok.
Oh.
Hey, nice handoff to Don the baseline drive.
Oh, something out of the playbook of Pete Carrill, Princeton, who's now an assistant coach of the Sacramento Kings. Backdoor play, ganda.
A minute and a half to go in the second quarter. Mike Cortez, Reynald Hugnatan. Ito yung kanina pasahan bago umandar yung play. And Tony De La Cruz with the offensive board. Ang dami ng offensive rebounds ditong Alaska. At dyan po namamayagpag itong Alaska isa sa kasalukuyan. They've got a 7-point lead. Don Ontiveros to bounce pass to Daniel Defonso. Don Defonso against Aliado Matras. And loose ball picked up by Reynald Hugnatan. Cortez inside. Wala. And
May offensive
Rugnatan.
rebound na naman ang Alaska.
Ato Carriazo. Tony De La Cruz.
And again, San Miguel settling for that zone defense. And they go to the outside shot to try to beat it.
Daniel Defonso says enough. Para sa San Miguel Beer, here's Olsen Rasala. 33 segundos na naman na sa second quarter. Nakandarama si Olsen Rasala gets it over to Don Tiberos. Wala. And Hugnatan once again para sa rebound for Alaska.
San Miguel has tried penetrations. They haven't been able to get consistent points off the drive. They go to the outside shot. Wala din consistency. That's why they've fallen behind by 7 points here as we are 21.5 seconds away from ending the first half.
Alright, yan nga po ang ating oras na nalalabi at 30-second timeout lang itong tinawag ni Coach Tim Con as they try to fashion out a play para dito sa what could be their mga koponan, ano ha? So, kailangan makita ninyo kung anong mga adjustment.
O, sino yung kumakain doon nakatabi ni Shot ng 15?
Nay.
Si Julio Salor yata yun ha?
Sino?
Assistant coach ng Ginebra.
Ah.
Masarap po kain.
Ano nga kain nun?
Ito.
Meanwhile, a foul is called. And it will leave 5 seconds on the game clock. At gaya ng nabanggit natin, ano, kanina po nasa penalty to San Miguel Beer. So 2 shots here para kay Tony De La Cruz.
Well, exasperated look on the face of Coach Joseph Vechico. An outside shot. And then you give up a foul. Paubos na ang oras sa half. And Tony De La
Pati
Cruz.
sa shot clock 4 seconds na sa shot clock
De La Cruz is very accurate from
Magaling
the
yan.
free throw line. 65% free throw shooter. Ayan si Binky Favis. Also looking at the performance of both these teams on the floor. Favis, of course, coached Coca-Cola to victory earlier in the game, earlier this evening.